about Stradivarius and his violins together. If we haven't met, hi, I'm Megan. I'm a violinist and teacher currently based in New Jersey. I've been playing the violin for over 20 years. I have my bachelor's and master's degrees in violin performance, and I'm a Suzuki trained teacher. If you're enjoying my videos, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel. It really helps me out. And if you're enjoying my videos and you want more, you can apply to work with me privately via the link in the description, or join the waitlist for the next round of open enrollment of my self-paced online learning program, Learn Violin Online. If you ever question whether a violin that you bought or found or somehow came into was a Stradivarius, it's probably not. Stradivarius violins are extremely rare. They are worth millions of dollars, and I highly doubt we're just going to find one in a pawn shop one day. So who was Stradivarius? Well, Stradivarius was an Italian luthier, which is a violin maker, who lived from 1644 to 1737. We think he started making violins when he was around the age of 12, and he studied the art of violin making with another very famous luthier, Nicholas Amati. Stradivarius produced his first decent violin around 1660 when he was about 16 years old. After that, he rose to fame as a very talented violin maker, which allowed him to take more risks in his violin craftsmanship. Stradivarius is credited with many design innovations and refinements that helped bring the violin into its modern form. These include creating the modern violin bridge, deepening the color of the varnish, which is the substance they use to polish and finish the instrument, and setting the proportions of the modern violin. The modern violin has a shallower body than previous versions of the instrument and therefore creates a more powerful sound. From 1700 to 1725 is what's known as the golden period of Stradivari violins. This was the time where he created his most high quality instruments. This is of course just because he had practiced and gotten better, but also because he rose to fame. Since he was very well known in the violin maker community, he could charge more and make more money and therefore use higher quality materials in his instruments. Instruments made during the golden period are the most sought after and most expensive Stradivarius violins. All Stradivarius violins are around 300 years old. The earliest surviving Strad that we know of today is the X-Sax Stradivarius, which was made in 1666, making it 358 years old today in 2024. The latest surviving Strad that we know of is the Paganini-Ladenburg Strad, made in 1736, making it 270 years old today in 2024. Historians estimate that Stradivarius made around 1,116 instruments throughout his career, 960 of those being violins. Although we believe that Stradivari made around 960 violins, only about 650 remain today, most of which are in the hands of private collectors. There are also about 55 cellos and 12 violas made by Stradivarius that still exist today. Stradivarius violins cost millions of dollars. Yes, millions with an S. The most recent sale of a Stradivarius happened back in 2022. The auction house Tarisio sold a Strad made during the golden period once belonged to Tosca Seidel, who was a student of Leopold Auer. The instrument sold for, wait for it, $15.34 million. This is the second highest amount ever paid for a Strad, with the highest being $15.9 million for the Lady Blunt Stradivarius in 2011. Now you might be asking, why are Strads so expensive? Well, first, supply and demand. Stradivarius is long gone. He's not going to be making any more violins. So there is a finite number of them available. When the demand outweighs the supply, the cost increases. I think that's something we're all acutely aware of here in 2024. Another reason why they are so expensive is because they are historical artifacts. They date back to the 1600s, which are quite literally things that you would see in museums. And obviously it goes without saying, the better condition and quality the instrument is in, the higher the price can be. Another reason why they're so expensive is because they are amazing violins. They are extremely high quality and regarded as some of the best violins in the world. Stradivarius violins are also a status symbol. Since they're so rare and expensive, they're not something that everyone has. They're also a great investment that will never decrease in value. How can you tell if your violin is a Strad? Well, did it cost you millions of dollars? It's very common for violin makers to model their instruments after a Strad in hopes of raising the price. The truth is that all of the Stradivarius violins that are in existence today are accounted for. And the likelihood that you're gonna find one in your local pawn shop is 100 million to 1. The only way to tell if it's a true Strad is to have it examined by an experienced luthier. The majority of Strad violins either belong to museums or private collectors who often loan them to famous soloists. Anne-Sophie Mutter rotates between two Strads, the Emiliana and the Lord Dun Raven. Aesop Perlman owns the Soil Stradivarius, which was formerly owned by U.D. Menuhin. Joshua Bell owns the Gibson X Huberman Strad. Kavakos owns the Wilmot Strad. I'm probably saying that very wrong. Oistrakh had a Strad, but that is now in a museum in Moscow. Maxim Vingarov owns the Kreutzer Strad, and David Garrett owns the X Adolf Busch Strad. Strads are incredible instruments, and if you're questioning whether you have one, it's likely that you don't. Since they are so rare and special and expensive, they are kept on lock, I'm sure. I actually once had the opportunity to play on a Strad violin. At a music festival, there was like a violin company, I believe it was Bein and Fushi, who came to our music festival and just let us try Strads. And let me say, they were so easy to play on. It felt so incredibly light. It was so easy to shift up and down. And of course the sound was just chef's kiss. So now you know all about Stradivarius violins. If you have any questions about them, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure you subscribe before you go.